not want to defend Pratibha Patil.
Well, I am asking the question.
But let us be very clear about our constitution provisions.
Well, constitution,
in the constitution clearly says that the president is governed by the advice of the council of ministers.
Okay, fine.
So there, if the council of ministers, if they send an advice to the president to give pardon, then what does the president say?
I am saying here, what did I ask?
President challenges.
I asked, can the Home Ministry adopt a policy? I know what you're. Let the Home Ministry adopt a policy.
Exactly. So
no ban.
Instead of asking the question to the president of India, former president of India, I say that you ask this question to the Home Ministry or Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister of India.
Why did so
they
many?
They are responsible.
I want to connect the anger to the people who can make a change. Prasun Joshi, you were there today. You were very passionate. I heard you reciting poetry and you were singing. It was from the heart. Prasun, tell us, why do you think so many people came out spontaneously in so many parts of the country where it was not a politically organized protest? What made them come out and connect?
Because it bothers people. The fact is that, I think our politicians are obsessed with grassroots politics. Now, they feel that if it is not coming from grassroots, it is not a signal. I think this is something which we need to be corrected. Every change has an epicenter. Epicenter could be any section of the society, any part of the country, and we should understand. And you were talking about women in politics. I feel politicians, and I'm sorry to say that I don't have such low opinion about politicians, but in this issue, I do have a very low opinion. We have seen candidates who have rape cases against them. They are fighting election, and women who are part of politics never raise objection to that. I think political women become a very different breed of women.
Why do you say so? I'll get a response from Nirmala Sitharaman right away. Why do you say so?
I feel they tolerate. They sit in the same parliament with people they are uncomfortable. They become politicians first and women second. And I think they have to be women first because that's the reason they are there. They should actually, it is very important for the country that the women and the status of women has to go up in this country. These kind of incidents can't be taken and lightly. And I'm happy that the whole nation is waking up today. And that is a sign that there is something which is very different. It's a tipping point thing. It's just one drop and then the tipping point comes. We should not think that this is going to die down. Everybody wishes that these are waves which will die down and nothing will happen. Then we are like in our own world and we are ignoring what is the masses looking for. And I think our politicians definitely need to wake up to the fact that women in this country do not feel safe. Mumbai, which used to be the safest place for women, today, even in this city, women are facing the same problem as in Delhi. It could have happened very much in Mumbai, and we would have been talking about Mumbai case today.
They think, politicians think that these are not issues which people vote on. I'm coming to you, Vinod Mehta, once again back. I want Nirmala Sitharaman to respond to your point that women, after they become politicians, compromise as part of the political system and don't assert themselves as much as they should. Kiran Bedi, we are looking at clear forward solutions, and there is a strong and growing view that you need to call as a mark of sensitivity and as a response to what has happened, a special session of parliament. In your view, why is it so difficult? You were with the Lokpal movement with Anna. It was very difficult to call a special session of parliament, but eventually there was a session of parliament.
Not special session, but there was session.
There was a session of parliament.
Yeah.
It was session of parliament was extended.
Special session is possible.
Special session happened in the Dowry Prohibition Act, 1961, Banking Service Commission Act, 1978, Prevention of Terrorism Act, POTA. POTA was important, 2002. Why not a special session on this? Or joint session? Kiran Bedi, what's the problem in your view?
I don't see a problem. The opposition is asking, many other political parties are asking, only the party in power has to want it. I think the speaker should step in. In this case, speaker should set in. President can set in. I think these are initiatives which could go to another kind of level. The president's level, the speaker's level, if the UPA is not interested, because the opposition parties are asking for it. And once the special session is coming, they could look at these laws and they could looking at certain transparency systems which need to be put in place. I don't understand why the government party in power is not interested. I think it's losing a lot of ground by not asking for it.
No, you see, in the past, the response of the government has been that when the Law Commission made recommendations 12 years, nothing happened to it. 12 years we've been sitting after that. Therefore, what Vinod Mehta is suggesting makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? He says have 3-4 straightforward agendas set for Parliament. Don't have a long 3,000-4,000 committees to set the agenda, which we'll discuss 4 years from now. You support that?
Yes, sir. I say that we should have issues. We should have demands.
4 or 5.
Yeah, on 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
2 or 3 on which Parliament should decide and make enactment there and there itself. Otherwise, if it goes into the committees, it goes into the commission, it will go into the arbit.
So you're saying make a commitment before the session starts.
Yeah,
Nirmala
exactly.
Sitharaman,
for that there has to be agenda.
Yeah.
There has to be agenda.
No. Who's going to set the agenda? Is it possible and conceivable, Nirmala Sitharaman, for example, that 4 key subjects of discussion with options yes or no, should we go ahead with this, are set before a session, a fixed time is given, and eventually there's a vote? One of our participants earlier in the day today said it can be done in 3 days of Parliament.
No, you could have that, no doubt at all. But then the point is, you have several such acts. You were referring to the Dowry Prohibition Act. Let me tell you, I was in the commission and I know the number of complaints we received as to how ineffective that Dowry Prohibition Act in its implementation is. Because the person who implements it is one of the, SDM or somebody like that who has 60 other things to do.
Sure.
So there is act for everything. But the problem is, unless you exhaustively look at it, yes, have a parliament session, have a parliament session with certain charter of demands, but to have all the recommendations which have come till now to make the acts far more effective should also have to be looked at.
No, but Nirmala, it's a question of, Nirmala Sitharaman, it's a question of priority, you see. Yeah. For Vajpayee, Pota was priority. For Vajpayee, Pota was priority when he was Prime Minister. He called a joint session of Parliament on Pota in 2002. When the Parliament was attacked, then you have a joint session of Parliament. When half the country, the women are being attacked, why can't you have a joint session of Parliament? The urgency of Pota.
That's what BJP is also demanding. NDA is also demanding the same thing, that we should have. We have the urgent immediate session.
Huh? This is terror at home. This is terror and horror one goes through day after day. This is so shameful. It's as serious as terrorism, because this is something women are feeling and living in a constant state of fear. And we really want freedom from fear. And I think all the protesters out there, that's what they're asking for.
Vinod Mehta.
You could have a session of Parliament, no doubt,
we will be making
but I'm also saying have a comprehensive look at what is happening in the laws which are specific to women. How ineffective it's become.
Do both.
Nirmala, please. Nirmala, please. Can I just say one thing, that whatever agenda we have, whatever changes we want to make, we must, the people who are on the street today, the people who have borne the water cannons, the young people who are getting raped, they are the people who must be heavily involved in whatever agenda we make. If the lawyers and the politicians and the activists make the agenda, then we should involve them. They are the people whom this concerns most, and they will only go back. They will only go back from their protest if they feel satisfied that the agenda covers some of the points that they think are most important.
I think that's a fair contention.
Vinodji, one thing I would say, what Arnab is saying, the the seriousness of this problem needs to be established. You talked about Parliament attack and you said that was considered serious. I think calling a joint parliamentary session, what it results into is also important, but more important is that how important that issue, issue of women for the country is. And I think we still feel this is not very important issue. We still feel it's not as important as attack on Parliament. I think it's attack on women of this country who are not feeling safe. That is hugely important. And I think anything which should be done now.
Please. Define the issues. Define the issues. That is critical. What are the issues? That's only television programs can't define the issues.
Definitely, I agree with you.
The country who are protesting in Jantar Mantar
couple of quick
should
voices.
be involved in defining the issues.
Couple of quick voices. See, I'm agreed. We are all in consensus about the need for a joint session. I just want the government representative to come on and say there will be a joint session, and we'll keep up the pressure. As we bring this broadcast today, I'd like to say I am receiving SMSs. Be clear, the political class, this is not going away. From Guwahati to everywhere, I'm getting messages, congregate here tomorrow, have protests. So somewhere, you know, women are insecure, whether they're in Trivandrum or Guwahati or Mumbai or Kanyakumari. TSR Subramaniam wanted to come in. I think we channelized it quite a bit, this debate. I'm sure the political class is watching us tonight. I don't think there are many choices for them anymore, are there, Mr. Subramaniam? You can't delay or buy time anymore.
Well, frankly, I would like to agree with you, but I'm not quite so sure. As I said, that there will be a very careful calculation as to what is the short-term, medium-term, long-term impact of this real anger which we saw today. And if the cold, callous calculation is that it is not going to have a major impact on the electoral prospects, I'm afraid that I don't know which way it will go, number one. Number two, I think it's imperative now that the national anger should be shown in Parliament
and does not see it as caving in to people's demands.
At least there will be a forum for us to discuss
that comes in the way of government actually.
Say, this happened, number two.
Well,
number three, if we are going to be satisfied with change of laws alone, I don't think it will serve its purpose. It is an occasion to give a signal to the people now that we want major changes. People are angry about the way our administration is conducted, our police system, our electricity system, our poverty system, medical system, education system. Some promises that 1 month, 2 months time we will do the following changes. It will be, Mr. Mehta, a group of 5 people can give you a short list of 4 major important items.
Exactly.
Focusing on women and around
That's
that
not such a big deal.
Important.
Arnab, here I would like to comment.
I have short of time.
I'm just give me 1 minute.
And the political class has to accept that the change is required.
Okay, very briefly, short of time.
Yeah, give me 1 minute. I say that if, as Vinodji said, if there are hundreds of questions, it will not happen. And if you restrict only the rape case, that particular rape case, that will not happen, because there is something called honor killing.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, there are dowry.
I am with you.
Basically, it is the issue of the respect.
Kiran Bedi agrees with you, I think. Yes, Kiran Bedi, briefly.
The government has gone through huge organ failure. This is exactly what I'm going to tell, continue by Mr. Subramanian. It's a case of organ failure. Major organs have failed. Earlier, we were always doing minor surgeries. This time, the whole organ failure has got exposed. So you've got to address crime prevention, investigate, detection, trials, punishments. Imagine, Lord, the whole gamut of organs. It's an organic failure and organ failure.
Kiran Bedi, and to all our panelists, as I thank you, I want to say one last thing. Don't only look at rape cases.
Yes.
Have all sexual offences. You know, it is shocking that what people can get away with by doing with women in this country. It is so shocking. You can outrage the modesty of a woman verbally. You know, you can do so much short of rape and assault on a woman, and you can get away with it.
You have to change the mindset. Why should we call it honor killing? Why should we glorify it?
And I think it's important.
There's no honor in that.
Most
we are glorifying it.
Most importantly for the media, also, I'm sure Vinod Mehta agrees with me as I wrap up this program. Keep a focus on this. Don't put these stories on the inside pages. This is the story of the real India. The story of India is not just shining India, it's also suffering India. That's our responsibility as well. We take responsibility for that. To all our panelists, I thank you for participating in this debate, for lending your voice. To all our viewers for watching, and our non-stop coverage, a special report, Candles Not Lathis, is coming up on the other side. I'll see you again soon. Good night and goodbye.
है कौन लेकिन भाई कौन है जितना बोलना चाह रहे हैं